Most people are familiar with 1001 Nights. Even if you don't recognize the name itself, there's a very high chance you've heard of the stories. And an overarching theme for a lot of these stories is the appearance of the genie. Now, a genie is a magical being capable of granting any person that comes in contact with him 3 wishes. Now, this seems great, well, at least at first, until you consider the fact that most genies try and twist your wishes. For example, if you ask for the ability to jump really high, he would transform you into a frog. Or if you ask for $1 million, he would give you $1 million Zimbabwean, which is still a decent amount, but not nearly as much as the American equivalent. But all of this begs the question, is it possible to beat a genie? Now, in order to answer this, I'm going to put down a few rules that you can follow in the event that you ever find yourself in the presence of a genie, in order to safely satisfy your wildest dreams. But before we attempt to solve this seemingly unsolvable problem, we need to go over the 3 most important rules put forth by genies. No bringing back people from the dead, no making people fall in love, and no taking other people's lives. So, the first and most obvious rule is don't phrase your wish in a vague way. When dealing with a genie, you want to be as precise as physically possible. That means don't just say, I want $1 million. That statement can be interpreted in multiple different ways. Instead, say something along the lines of, I want 1 million United States dollars to be deposited in my bank account. State the details of your bank account, and then continue by saying, in a completely legal, safe way, without altering any of mine or anyone else's possessions and without altering the value of any currency. That last line is especially important because the genie could give you your money and then drive down the value of the United States dollar till it's worth nothing, and then you would have wasted your wish on a pile of valueless paper. The next rule is don't be rash. Take your time. This hypothetical genie isn't going anywhere and you don't want to do something you're going to regret. Decide what you actually want. Call your family, read your bucket list, really think about what you want before you commit to it. For example, asking for immortality seems great, but when you realize that it means you're going to be here till the end of time, long after the universe ends, it doesn't sound so good anymore. Another thing you should do is hire a lawyer. There is absolutely nobody better to precisely word something that is binding. Get him to word your wishes for you and make sure you have them written down so you don't slip up. Something else that seems insignificant but is of utmost importance is having a good night's sleep, hydrating yourself, clearing your throat, and making sure that you're as linguistically sound as you physically can be. A lot of genie-related mishaps occur due to mispronunciations or slips of tongue. You don't want to ask for unlimited honey when what you really meant is unlimited money. Following these simple rules should guarantee you a positive and likely very profitable genie experience. But if you still aren't 100% sure in your abilities, I have a foolproof plan that you can utilize for absolute surety. Begin by getting a lawyer to word a wish for you that forces the genie to only grant wishes in a way that you intend them. This seems simple enough, but what it does is completely remove the genie's only tool against you: interpretation. If the genie can only grant wishes the way you want them granted, then he can't interpret them any other way he wants, and you have successfully made the genie harmless. Next, ask for unlimited wishes. Another obvious one, but one that makes reality bend to your will. And there you have it. You are now a certified genie whisperer, and anyone can be. All it takes is a bit of logic, imagination, and this foolproof guide.